Justice League of America number 7.4, aka Black Adam, written by Jeff Johns and Sterling Gates, art by Edgar Salazar. So, we get the backstory on Black Adam. And also, what's he up to today besides, being dead in the pages of Justice League? So, 4,000 years ago, Kahndaq, barbarian rolled in named Ibok the First, and he immediately just rolled over everybody in Kahndaq. And people tried to fight up, they tried to stand up, but the rebellion was just crushed, immediately. And all of a sudden, Black Adam showed up. And he started zapping and killing all of Ibok's men until finally he came face to face with Ibok. And we see that whoever's telling the story says that Adam's wife, children, and nephew were all killed by Ibok's forces, even though we know from Justice League 21 that's not the case. But he steps up to Ibok, grabs him, and basically smashes his weapon. And he's like, "Oh, stay back. I rule this nation." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And he zaps him with a magical spell that turns Ibok into stone. And that statue still stands above the town square of Kahndaq today. And we see that there's this military man who's part of a group called the Sons of Adam. And he's telling this to a man named Amon. And he's like, "Amon, it's true. All of it's true. None of it's a myth. That actually happened. We know that Black Adam can save our country now." And it's like, "Okay, well, where's Black Adam now?" He's like, "Well, he was imprisoned by a bunch of evil gods, but he got out. He's free. So now we can save him," or whatever. And Amon wants to know what good he is. Turns out he is a good translator. They have an ancient scroll that they need him to translate in order to get their plans to fruition. And the guy that's running is just like, "Yeah, okay, military's here. We got to go. But meet up with me outside of town tonight, and I will show you what's going on. Kahndaq's freedom rests on your shoulders." So Amon goes home. He tells his sister the plan. The sister is not for it at all. Turns out that the country of Kahndaq, America, has installed basically a puppet dictator that's just ruling them cruelly and in the interest of foreign powers, and neither of them are happy with it. The sister, however, prefers more peaceful methods. She's live streaming and out on Twitter and stuff. And he's like, "Yeah, that's great. They keep on giving you little thoughts and prayers, but that ain't good enough. Sometimes you need to take severe action to make something change." So he goes out and he goes to meet up with the Sons of Adam. We see her in the city square live streaming again. She's like, "Yeah, the military hasn't dispersed us yet, so, things are going good." When all of a sudden this man comes in bloodied and he's like, "The military knows about the Sons of Adam. They're going to go take care of them right now. You've got to warn them. You got to use your live stream." And she's like, "No, they don't have phones and stuff. It's super secret. I have to go out there and warn them on foot." So she goes off running. We then see them out in the middle of the desert, and he starts translating the scroll. Turns out it's ancient Kahndaqi language. And he's like, "Is this it seems like this is a resurrection spell. What do you need this for?" And they explain, well, back in the Shazam backup stories, Shazam showed up and killed Black Adam. And we saw in Justice League, 23, 22, something in there, that Shazam came and spread his ashes back here in Kahndaq. So his ashes are here. We just need to resurrect him. We can restore him back to full health. So we see the sister driving across the desert as he starts listing off the Book of the Dead. And he gives us the name of the gods that Black Adam uses. So we have Shu for stamina, Horus for speed, Amun for strength, Zehuti for wisdom, Aten for the lightning powers, Mehen for courage, and then you see the weather starts getting bolts of lightning striking everywhere, the wind's whipping up. The sister comes up and be like, "Hey, military forces are on their way, man. You got to stop." And just as he's about to say Shazam, he sees his sister there, and he gets shot in the chest by the military. So the military's here. They start opening fire on the men. The men start firing back. The sister is cradling Amon, saying "Oh, we got to get you to medical. We got to take you to the hospital." And he's like, No, just finish saying the spell. It's really important. You just need you to say the magic word. Say the word right now. Come on, sis, I need you to do this. And the military advances on them. He's unable to do it himself. And so she screams out Shazam, and Black Adam is reformed. And As he steps up, the military is just like, this guy isn't real, it's a trick. And he tries to shoot Black Adam in the head. Black Adam does not take that kindly and immediately just tears apart the entire military. And the sister starts live streaming this, catching it all on her stream. And Black Adam, he stands above the sons of Adam. He's like, hey, who are you guys? And like, oh, we're your followers. You're our master. And he's like, you bow to no one. I'm not your master. I'm going to just work with you here. So let's go. So we see them leaving the sister and Amon behind. She seems to be pretty pissed off that her brother had to die for this cause. And we see some magical text bubbles saying, ah, yes, he has returned. Conduct's people will be free. The woman shall be the one, whatever that means. So we see back at the palace of Kondak, the military is trying to protect the dictator, saying Black Adam's on his way. We've got video footage of him. He's coming. And he's like, it's stupid. He's just a fairy tale. And then all of a sudden the walls break down. Black Adam's standing there. He starts chasing after the dictator, just crushes his throat as he just keeps going on about like, I am the king. You cannot depose me. You're nothing. You're nothing compared to me. And then Black Adam says, you want the throne of Kondak that bad? And he goes and he lifts up this giant stone throne and just drops it on this guy's head. And he says, here you go. So in the rubble, he sits on the throne of Kondak once more. And he says, Kondak no longer has a ruler. I am simply its protector. And then all of a sudden, all the power goes out. We see a tablet that was sitting next to the throne lights up saying, this world is ours. And Black Adam immediately crushes it in his hand. And he's like, I just got done saying that people should not be ruled over. And then this happens. God damn it. So yeah, says follow him in Justice League 24. So this is definitely a critical tie-in. This feels like something that is a necessity to understand what is going to be going on in Forever Evil. I think it's very well written. I think it's very well done. Art looks great. I appreciate the idea that, there's this, he's a magical based villain hero, whatever, which side of that you're on. And there's a group that says, yeah, no, we're going to use magic to bring him back to life. And it makes sense. It doesn't feel like it's too outlandish. It doesn't feel like it's too much. The only thing I would throw at it is that he only died 3 months ago. It's not a lot of time has passed in between his death to being resurrected. So maybe that could have sat a bit better, but obviously that was the plan all along. In terms of score, if it delivers on the things that it's promising, I would say 8.5. If it doesn't, if it kind of just sputters out and this woman ends up not being worth anything to the story, or Black Adam's revival isn't actually that big of a deal, then I lower it down to just an 8, but it is still a very high quality issue. So I'm going to give it the 8.5. Just on standing right now, I think it's very well done. I'm definitely enjoying it. I think it's one of the better tie-ins to Villains Month we've had. So yeah, definitely earns it.